In episode 4, Sam and Emma were able to escape. They killed all the guards they got out of there. And once the dean realizes that something's up, she heads down there with Dr. Cardoza. Dr. Cardoza is the guy that does all the experiments on Sam. The dean needs to know exactly what happened to these soldiers, and the truth is, he doesn't really know. What he does know is that Sam is way stronger than Golden Boy, and they have an issue with Sam being on the run. So far, they have no idea what's going on with Emma, and neither do her friends. Jordan, Kate, Marie, Andre, they all follow the tracking chip, but it goes to just a regular field with a hole in it. At some point, Emma must have ditched it. They start fighting about what might have happened to Emma, with some people, like Marie, really caring, and other people, like Jordan, only caring about the top 5, which just got released, and Marie is the new number 2. It's not like Jordan doesn't realize that they do have an issue on their hands, because at this point, they don't know who's in on, quote, the woods, but she also doesn't know how exactly they're going to go about solving this. The kids kind of realize there's nothing they can do in the moment, so they all just head back to campus. When Andre wakes up the next day, the first thing he does is wake and bake, and then he heads to Kate's. He tells her that he doesn't know where Emma is, and he doesn't know exactly what to do. He also reveals to her that he told his dad everything, and his dad's response was, drop it. Kate says, maybe he's trying to protect you, but Andre says no, that's not it. His phone then buzzes, and his reaction to it is not good. And that's because there's a famous alumni on campus. His name is Tech Knight, and he is basically a human lie detector. He has a hit show on Vault Plus where he goes into crime solving. Well, his next mystery is why exactly Golden Boy offed himself. This isn't just an issue for Andre, who's going to be interviewed by Tech Knight. It's also an issue for the dean. Because Dean Shetty doesn't want this guy poking around her students and possibly finding out what happened to Sam. At this point, she's still trying to keep the fact that Sam is gone under wraps. The only reason she's even allowing this guy to be on campus is because it's what Ashley wants. Her edict to him was to leave the top 5 alone, but clearly he's not following that rule because he's interviewing the new number 1 student. In fairness to Tech, though, Andre was Golden Boy's best friend, and to find out why Golden Boy might have done the thing he did, you would interview his friends. So they've got Andre scheduled to interview with Tech, Kate to interview with Tech, and also Jordan. But as Jordan is heading to her dorm to get ready for it, she notices that Marie is talking to an absolute creep. But this creep's power is the fact that he is clairvoyant, psychic, all that stuff. And Marie wasn't about to sit back and just not know what happened to Emma. She wants to find her, help her friend. So she reached out to this guy trying to get some help. What she wasn't banking on was that this guy would use his powers to get her into his room. Marie was completely knocked out. She was about to be raped. And it was Jordan who once again comes to save the day. Jordan's able to distract this guy. Marie uses her powers. And she explodes a very delicate... Well, when a guy gets excited and blood rushes to a certain thing, look, it's not there anymore. It's not there. He's a eunuch at this point. Marie did that. She didn't even know she had that power. Up until this point, she thought she could just control blood when it was outside of the body, but turns out she can control blood when it's rushing to a certain particular area. Once they get out of this guy's dorm room, the first thing Jordan does is tell Marie what an idiot she is for trusting this guy. And Marie fires back that she's trying to find her friend. If her friend's in danger, she wants to help. The way that Jordan is looking at this, though, is Marie has a great opportunity. She's the new number 2. Why would you jeopardize that? And Marie, not giving a rat's ass about rankings, just wants to help her friend. At the very end of their conversation, Jordan gets close to Marie and says, Tech Knight is on campus. If he finds out what you're doing, you'll be lucky if you just end up in prison because he messes with people big time. I mean, he really messes people up. And there's a good example of it in the first interview he does with Andre. Andre is there along with his father, and Tech starts doing his thing, interviewing him, questioning him, but also painting this narrative that's not entirely true. Using his powers, Tech weaves a story that Andre was simply jealous of Golden Boy. He was also sleeping with his girlfriend, which he figured that out, and so the two formulated a plan to kill him. Now, he doesn't do this in a very PC manner. He does it knowing that they can edit out his actual wording of it, but he does it to get a rise out of Andre, and it works. Andre just gets up, puts Tech in his place by saying he is a small human being whose powers suck, and then finally cursing out his dad for putting him in that situation and walking out. The interview, though, caused Andre and Kate both to miss the next class, which was Dean Shetty's superhero branding course. Jordan's in that class, and so is Marie. And right before class starts, Dean Shetty walks up to Marie and says, "Hey, you didn't stop by today. That's weird because you had been, but I want to talk to you. Your roommate. It's Emma, right? The girl that gets small? Have you seen her recently?" Marie makes up a horrible, obvious lie and asks, "What is this about?" And the dean says, "I'm just checking in. She missed a few classes, that's all." She then brings in the guest speaker for that day's course. It's none other than Tech. Camera crew and all, he decides to show the students just how to conduct an interview to break the witness. And he decides to use Marie Monroe. Just like with Andre, he's able to use his lie detector skill set to break Marie and get Marie to admit that she really didn't do anything with the Golden Boy situation. It was all Jordan Lee. When the interview's done, Marie, who is absolutely embarrassed at this point, just walks out of class. And when the class is over, Dean Shetty is not happy with Tech. She walks up to him and says, "I told you, stay away from the top 5. And he tells her digging for the truth is such a rush. But you were right. These kids, there's nothing there. I can't pin what happened to Golden Boy on any of them." Which, by the way, was the initial plan. No, instead, he's not going to pin it on any of the top 5 or any of the students. He's going to pin what happened to Golden Boy on the dean. As he puts it, these kids, they could be big earners for Vought, but you're just a human. She tells him that he has no evidence she did anything wrong, but he knows about Sam. He knows that Sam is gone. And if Vought found out about that, well, let's just say taking the fall for Golden Boy is the better option. But the dean's not going to sit back and take that. Yeah, okay, she's not a soup, but her power is blackmail, it turns out. The next day, she decides to meet with Tech in a discreet location in the woods, and Tech thinks that this is going to be a payoff situation, but instead, she shows him a bunch of blackmail. It starts out with the fact that he's got a brain tumor. She found that out, and it's going to be incurable, grow, and kill him eventually. But no, the more embarrassing thing is the fact that maybe because of this brain tumor, he sees a hole and he's just got to hump it. And I'm talking any hole. Bagels, tree knots, parking cones, you name it, he's humping it. And she's got a bunch of videos showing just that. If those videos were to get out, it would be pretty embarrassing and probably ruin his career. Tech at this point realizes he has been defeated. And so the episode that Tech Knight is going to air wraps up with him saying that Golden Boy simply snapped. Now, as for the person who Tech interrogated in a classroom, Marie gets confronted by Jordan in her dorm room. Jordan asks her, "What the hell was that back there?" And Marie's pretty confused because Jordan wanted Marie to tell the truth the whole time and she finally did. And now Jordan's mad at it? Doesn't really make sense. Jordan fires back, "Yeah, I wanted the truth, but I also didn't want you to bury yourself in the process. You keep acting stupid, and I know you're not stupid." This segues into them admitting to each other how they're scared of this moment, and then suddenly they hook up. Jordan as a boy, Marie obviously as a girl. She doesn't have that power. It gets interrupted, though, when Emma enters the room. She wasn't expecting to walk in and see that scene, but she came because she needs help. Sam is going after Dr. Cardoza. Now, if you're wondering where Sam and Emma have been this whole time, they went and hid at an abandoned movie theater. During that time, Sam and Emma actually got to know each other a little bit, and Emma likes him a lot. Sam, though, has mental issues. He hears voices, and those voices told him that he needs to hurt the person who hurt him, which was Dr. Cardoza. So he went after him to kill him. Emma didn't want that. She needed help stopping him, and Jordan knows where Dr. Cardoza lives. They grab Kate and Andre, and they head over to the house, and Sam does have Cardoza and his family terrified. Not wanting Sam to become a murderer, they start trying to talk Sam down, but Sam gets infuriated because he recognizes some of the people. He recognizes Andre and Marie from getting him into this situation and stopping him the last time he escaped. He recognizes Kate from knocking him out. He thinks that what they're going to do is put him back in the woods. And even though they try to explain to him, no, that's not the case. We know who you are and we know the situation now. He's not seeing clearly. He starts fighting all of them, and he is extremely powerful, but Jordan actually gets the better of him. Sam, though, is enraged. He's not about to quit. And that's when Emma takes action. Turns out when Emma throws up, yeah, she gets small. When she eats a lot, she gets really big. And a giant Emma walks out of the house and pins Sam down and tries to calm him. She tells him that everything will be all right. They're not going back to the woods. They're in this together. Marie assures Sam that they're going to make this right. She promises. And then it just cuts off to black. And the next thing you know, Marie is in bed with Jordan. Female Jordan this time. Having no recollection of how she got there. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel and subscribing to my Patreon. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. If you left a comment, I don't get back to you. I usually don't check the comments unless they're like a super comment. Also, if you don't see the next video up on the end screen, not to worry, it'll be up in a day or two.